Hello everyone, how you doing? So, I just got out of the shower. It's been a whole weekend has transpired. Had Martin Luther King Day off, and also we have a snow day down here, which is snow down here is so rare. And so, while I love it, I feel more productive if I'm at work. So I'm making myself go ahead and do this video. And while I was in the shower, I was thinking about, I don't know, I'm assuming this varies from age to age, and there's always a huge time of reflection after breakups or when you've been single, especially for as long as I have at this point. Anyway, I gotta just speak for myself. I've taken the past 5 years, and there's been a couple of dilly-dalliances in those 5 years, but I've not been committed to or with anybody in that long, which is the longest ever since coming out. But it really has been a great time of reflection on what I can bring to a relationship and what I need to work on in a relationship, and really as a human being. That's the truth. My hair's gonna fluff up. Okay, which is fine, I don't care. So here are my deals as far as what I know. And this could go back to what people would call a Freudian issue. I don't know if it's Freudian or not. I know it's probably deep within my psyche, but I tend to be attracted to the wrong kind of people. Not just physically, but like the wrong kind of person for an individual like me. Somebody that is, let's see, how do I say this? Super narcissistic. And I can read the red flags immediately in the relationship, but I am so taken with and so into the idealistic concept of romance and love. And yes, that is being an idealist. And being an idealist is so fun sometimes, especially, you know, as far as aesthetics and visual arts and the stuff that I do. I love that part, and looking at other people's artwork, no matter what field of arts they are in. Because a lot of times that communicates our innermost thoughts, especially like when it comes to love, especially like when I'm thinking about Adele, for example, you know, my love. And so I have a parent that is very narcissistic. I guess anybody could be narcissistic if you sat down and look at everything. Like anybody, even people that are not what you would describe as narcissistic. There is something about that person that likes to channel their non-narcissistic qualities, which by proxy makes them narcissistic. Am I making any sense at all? Anyway, so some of the other part of the problem with being with somebody that's a narcissist, at least for me, is that I can give them 100% attention, but it always takes away from who I am and my core emotional and physical well-being. Like, it affects my health even. And they'll like it a lot, but what I've discovered is, in my experience, is those narcissistic people are so used to people being like that with them, whether they're in a romantic liaison or a friendship. They just feed those, they get food and nourishment like vampires from the people that will give them what they're looking for. And so that's been one of my number one things that I see as a problem. Now, on the flip side, at this age and in reflecting for the past 5 years, I've got to figure out, well, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Like, adjust who you're attracted to. Part 2 of my problem is, just to be totally frank and honest, being attracted to straight women. Now, I know I have watched so many videos from people all over the place talking about how you don't need to do that. And many times, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be into that at all. That's not their gig. But for me, part of the time it's worked out. Half, at least half. maybe over half. And then in the other half, it hasn't, especially in the past 10 years. It's just, and right now it's just, as I said in a previous video, with younger people. Or maybe I don't know if that video is posted yet. This is video 4. I don't think video 3 ever posted because my connection here is really slow, so I need to work on that too. But anyway, so I need the straight people. It's hard not to be attracted to them. I have been since kindergarten. I can name my kindergarten crush. It's not like there were other gay girls to choose from, ever. I didn't see another one until I was in college. Not once. And as far as I know, nobody in my high school graduating class of over 300 has ever come out except for me. And so who else am I going to be attracted to? And that's all I know. I mean, that's all I've known, whether I was little and going to church with my parents, to going to school, to my neighbors, to all of that. There's no way I can avoid being attracted to straight women. I love them. I love women. And so that's been a reoccurring problem. But I will say some of the straight women I have been attracted to are married. It's not that I'm in the business of at all, or I don't want to break marriages up. It just so happens that when women, in my experience, almost all of them, they have some kind of awakening, an unawakening in their late 30s and into their 40s. And at 48, I don't know a whole lot of women that haven't been through this or are currently going through this. They've lost their identity to their husbands and to their kids, and they're just going and going and going, and all of a sudden there's like a slow awakening that they've lost themselves and they want to be free, in a manner of speaking. It's not that they want to leave their husbands. It's not that they want to abandon their children that they've raised. It's just that they want to become themselves again, like find who they are. And so sometimes it's been both by pain and pleasure to be on the receiving end of their love. Now, the past 2 relationships like that have never worked out. One of those people ended up getting a divorce, and then the other one is still married, but I know that she's having an affair with a man somewhere else. Both of those people broke my heart, but it's my fault. This is all this self-reflection. It is my fault for getting involved in the first place. This is not going to be an excuse to anybody listening, but I want love so much. And when I finally meet a person that I'm physically attracted to, who is highly intelligent, who is, and I'm talking about emotional intelligence also, but also very aware of the world, can talk about a wide variety of things, from politics to religion to fashion to whatever. And then they have this certain, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. Like, I'm not a person that can just go out and like do a fling. I've never been able to do that. I've got to know this person. I got to be attracted to them. So I've got to work on that. And that's what I decided in this past year. Okay, so let me back up. So the past 5 years, it's been 2 married women, and then 0 happening in the past year. And have I been approached or somebody's been interested? Yes. But this time I said no. I didn't say no like that at all. I'm far too compassionate and kind to do that. But I just said I'm not going to be involved with straight women. If you ever get a divorce, holla. Some other issues, personal issues, that I bring to the table that I need to work on. But it goes back to kind of being with a narcissist. I am a love bug. Like, straight up, super affectionate. Will drop anything to do anything for that person. And basically that bugs the crap out of people if you're on them all the time. I mean like huggy, lovey-dovey. They need their space. And that's something I got to work on. And also just saying all the time, I love you and all this kind of stuff. That's hard for me not to do. Oh, it is so hard, I realized. But I'm working on it. And let's see, what else? Trying not to expect an ideal situation, like where everything's going to be hunky-dory. I'm totally okay and get that there's going to be breaks and everything. But let's say there's an argument about house chores, a reoccurring argument. I don't have to be right about everything. And it's not that I'm ever demanding, but people have their own way about going to and doing things. Like right now, I'm kind of a slob. Like I'm not slovenly, but I'm kind of a slob. And so just to be able to help out, even if I don't want to do it at that moment, but I know that they like it that way and there won't be a later argument. Hey, that's something I'm willing to just go ahead and do at this point. I also need to find somebody that is very supportive of my creative side. I don't have the biggest, I can be kind of lazy, and I just need somebody and need to find somebody that will push me. And I tend to find people that just think, hey, you have a job, you do your job, forget about the side stuff. Yeah, that's cute and that's nice and everything, but you know, this is real life. Nothing's ever going to happen with it. Yeah, it probably could happen, but I need that right kind of support person. And I have been with only 2 people in my past. I don't know how many relationships I've had, but serious ones, probably 7. And serious, I mean over 2 years, which is kind of lame. But my 10-year relationship was with one of the nicest, kindest people ever. And then, I don't know how to say this, but I lost attraction for that. It's almost like I've been seeking, in my brain, there's this like psychological twist. Like I've got to have that person that is a narcissist. And this person wasn't even a little bit. I've just got to find that happy medium. And it's so hard to do. The best part about being single is this, especially after my last relationship. There's no walking on eggshells. There's absolutely time to reflect. I have reflected so much that I am able to, I'm a giver to other people, not just for my relationships, but I've been able to step back and really watch and listen to people and hear them, whatever that hearing needs to be, whether they're in pain, whether they're just needing somebody to listen to them or whatever. I've had more time to do that for people, and I know that they appreciate it, and I feel like a better person because I've taken a moment in my own brain to realize the world doesn't revolve around me. I already knew that, but I mean, it really doesn't. And if you can be a kinder person, if I can be a kinder person, that little bit of time that I'm giving to them is 100% worth it. It makes me feel good to make them feel good in whatever way that is. So I guess I could keep going on and on and on, but I will spare you because this is already 13 minutes and 47 tick, tick, tick minutes long. So if you are single and you're watching this, I guess my question to you is, have you done some self-reflection without blaming the ex or the exes and without feeling sorry for yourself? Like really look at yourself in the mirror. I don't mean literally, but you could. And asking the question, what is my fault in this relationship? Because we all have one, or many in my case. I got a lot of faults. At least I recognize them and I'm trying to work on them, right? So if and when I do meet somebody, it's going to be a much better go around. At least I can hope. So take that time to reflect. Let yourself roll in the depression of who you are and then step out of it, because you have a lot to offer, and not just for a relationship, but when other people do see you offering yourself to others and recognizing your own weaknesses, it's actually turns out to be a pretty attractive quality. So good luck to everybody out there, and I'll see you next time.